and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Coast Life,
your guide to all things Coastside.
I'm Madison McKay.
And I'm Alyssa Wong-Conway.
Our theme for today's show is going to be the community. Whether you're in Pacifica and noticing all the little things our little town by the sea has to offer, down by the bay in San Francisco, or across the Bay Bridge in Oakland, tonight's episode will give you an inside look at all the different communities in our area.
That's right. We'll be seeing events from all over today, like in Oakland, where we had the opportunity to observe musicians and artists showcase their talents in a fun festival that exemplifies the lively spunk the city is known for.
We're also going to show you a cool and ever so lively community gathering that took place at Pier 50 in Half Moon Bay. At this event, we focused on beer, community, and the gift of giving. At this event, we also showcase the fact that all the proceeds go to local nonprofit organizations.
That's great. And we'll also be heading out to a really quiet and serene event that takes place in Pacifica's backyard, literally.
But before any of that, we're going to learn about an activity that makes the West Coast stand out from all the rest, surfing. This year at the Pacific Point Surfing Club, we were able to go to the Big Chill, which was an amazing surfing competition right in Pacifica's backyard at Lindemar Beach.
Actually, Maddie, did you know that the Pedro Point Surf Club encourages surfers of all ages and skill levels to participate in their events?
That's amazing because I know surfing is actually a very hard thing to do and can be quite intimidating if you don't know what you're doing.
Yes. Founded in 1987, the Pedro Point Surf Club was founded by local Pacificans who wanted to encourage other people to surf as well as get people to participate in safety while surfing.
Let's take a look.
President of the Pedro Point Surf Club and have been for about 22 years. You know, when we first had this event, we would have maybe 30 people come surf. Now we have over 200 from all over the state. We have people that have come all the way from San Diego, as far as San Diego, all the way up into Humboldt, Mendocino County. Surf clubs from Malibu and Huntington Beach and La Jolla in San Diego and Santa Cruz, up into Sonoma and Mendocino County. So we feel pretty happy about the range of surfers that we have. 28 years ago, there were no kids surfing. None. Maybe a few teenagers, but no 8, 9, 10-year-olds. Zero. And now a lot more, and a lot more women. But we really enjoy that. More women, more kids, just more families involved in the surfing scene.
I think I've been participating since early 2000s.
Legends final.
I don't know, it's a really cool community, you know, I mean, yes, it's a contest, but it's actually just a community gathering for a lot of us that just want to come and hang out with each other, because a lot of times we can't because we don't live in Southern California where you hang out at the beach all day. It's just a little different here, so a lot of times you don't get to hang out with your surf family like you would in other places.
I started surfing at 53 and been doing it now. I'm almost 70. So I'm still pretty stoked. It's new. It's a new tour to me. So,
Red's up.
oh, and this contest is great. Every year we got lots of people showing up. The kids are starting to really show up. You know, parents are starting to encourage their kids. So we're really happy it's evolving.
Yeah, super pumped to be in the final. The waves are really fun and it's a beautiful day down here. I've done the big chill out for the last 4 or 5 years. I won the first year I did it, and then I got 5th last year, so we'll see how this year goes.
I'd encourage them to go to our website, which is pedropointsurfclub.org, and all our information is on the website. They can contact us. We'd be more than happy to sit down and have a cup of coffee with them and talk to them about the organization, or send them any information about the organization. We have people in the organization who don't even surf, that like to take photos, or journalists, or just like to come down to the beach. So we encourage you all to check us out.
Alyssa, something I want to point out about the surfing competition actually was that the thick fog that was taking place in the background, a lot of people would think, hey, maybe we're not going to go out to the beach today because of the thick fog, but actually the crowd was enormous at the big chill out.
Yeah, it was a very popular event, and speaking of the weather, the name The Big Chill actually came from the fact that originally the competition used to be held in November when the waves are the biggest and of course the weather is cooler. But they wanted to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to participate, so they moved it earlier into the year.
That makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad they did that because I had no idea that this event took place until I was able to actually see all of the amazing footage of all the surfers. What was also great about the Big Chill Out is that one of the interviewers mentioned that the community in Pacifica is a lot different than the surfing community in SoCal, for instance, where the surfing competitions is what brings the community together. However, in Pacifica, due to the weather and just the overall vibe of how the contributants are, this event was something that, and I quote one of the people in the video said, brought their surfing family together.
Absolutely. And the president of the Pedro Point Surf Club actually told us this really touching story about how when after one of their members passed away, everybody went on their surfboards out to the sea and they all spread the member's ashes in the Pacific Ocean, which is just so touching and really shows like how close they really are.
Absolutely. Segueing into our next clip of the night, we have the Oakland Art and Soul Festival. At this festival, we're going to show you Oakland's best, whether it comes to street artists, musicians, and models alike. Take a look. I want to say that my favorite part of the Oakland Art and Soul Festival was definitely the independent group that one was on the piano and the other instruments going to the beat of the sidewalk. That's something that I've never seen before. What did you think, Alyssa?
Yeah, I thought they were great musicians, and if they were just people, who are on the street, I am just curious to know what other amazing acts they had there at this 2-day weekend-long festival. They even had the Pointer Sisters, who have won a Grammy and are Oakland natives, and they actually got a key to the city of Oakland after they performed.
That's so special. Another thing I want to know about this amazing festival was that it was only 2 blocks long, but they were able to jam-pack so many amazing acts, including a modeling sequence and runway that was based off of the movie The Black Panther, and it was all themed by the Wakandan models, and the crowd just roared once they saw these beautiful women and their amazing clothes walking down the runway.
Yeah, it was definitely a thrilling event that I'm sure people clearly were super into and really excited to go to. And Oakland is really lucky that they had so many great artists that are local to the area that were willing to come out and show everything that they have been working on. And actually people 18 and under this year got to go in for free.
What?
Yeah.
Moving on to our next clip of the day, which we're very excited about, is the Half Moon Bay Brewfest. At this Brewfest, the emphasis was on giving back to the community. All proceeds of the Brewfest, where several different local breweries were able to sell their brews and their beers, all of that money went to, again, local nonprofits in Pacifica. Let's take a look.
This is our 5th annual Coastside Brewfest, and it's put on by Mavericks Community Foundation, and it benefits both Mavericks Community Foundation and Coastside Hope. This year, the money will be going towards our Coastside Gives.
And Coastside Gives this year is May 2nd, and it's a 24-hour day of giving, and it helps nonprofits all over the coast from Ontario to Pescadero.
We are super excited. It's like a record turnout this year, and we sold a lot of pre-sales, and it's a beautiful sunny day.
We're Ferment Drink Repeat Brewing Company in San Francisco. We're on the southern edge of the city, just off 280 and 101. And so what we try to do is promote beer culture in a neighborhood in San Francisco that's not really super familiar with beer. And so we like like to have a nice well-rounded tap board so that no matter who walks into the brewery, they feel comfortable with that they're going to find a beer that they like or feel comfortable in asking questions. This event really spoke to my husband and the charity it supports, so we decided to be a part of it. And we noticed like there's a lot of lovely breweries that we don't see at all of the events, so they have a very nice well-rounded list of breweries from the Bay Area.
We're Novel Brewing Company. We're in Oakland, California. We started about 2.5 years ago. We're all about the story of beer, coming in and having a good experience in the tasting room. We like the idea of how everyone that sits down and has a pint of beer already just starts naturally talking about their story.
Is this your first time here?
We were here last year.
Oh, okay. How is it different than last year?
I think it's a little more busy, a little more poppin' than it was last year. A little different breweries happening this year. But generally, it's kind of a laid-back, easy-going, great place to be.
Sacrilege, we're 730 Main Street, Half Moon Bay. Small 3-barrel brewing system and a lot of guest taps too, so we like to support our friends. That's the great thing about the craft beer industry, is that it's all cooperation and very little to no competition.
So what do you like about events like this?
I like these. They're really nice, small and fun. We all know each other here, so it's kind of family. You get to the bigger events and you kind of get lost in the crowd.
It's a great place to run into some people that I haven't seen in a while, and also try out some really good beers that I didn't know were so close to us.
Exactly. It's a very nice Saturday. Like you said, we've seen some friends here. We've seen some familiar breweries here and a lot of other new breweries. It's not an unrealistic amount of beers to try.
Yeah, it's the right size. You could actually try a little bit of everything from a bunch of different tents, but it's not like there's hundreds or something like that where you didn't quite get to something you wanted to. We've tried everything we wanted to, and it's not overly crowded or anything like that. So I think we'll be back again.
You know, Alyssa, what I think stands out most about the Brewfest and its success was mainly that the reputation that the Half Moon Bay Brewery has really cultivated a space for all the breweries to come out and really show everyone what they're capable of with their beers.
Yeah, they had a lot of different companies from all throughout the Bay Area, from the North Bay, the South Bay, East Bay, and, of course, the city and Coastside area. And in addition to just the breweries from there, the visitors also came from faraway places just to be able to taste everything all in one go.
We interviewed people who had actually been going for years and years, and this is actually their 5th annual Brewfest, and they're so excited to continue to give to the community. The Brewfest emphasized the Day of Giving through their Pacifica Gives nonprofit organization, where they dedicate one day for you to go on their website and contribute and donate to a nonprofit in the Bay of your choice. So meaning that all of the proceeds to Brewfest went to a better organization to help those in need.
Yeah, and I mean, the spirit of giving is obviously fantastic, but the prices, you pay for your ticket and everything inside was free tasting. So everyone I talked to said that it was a really good value beyond the, of course, fantastic giving opportunity that it presented.
To continue with our theme of giving in the community, our next clip will showcase Gardens by the Sea. a event that actually took place in Pacifica, right in our home. At this event, we were able to go on a walk-in visual garden tour of beautiful gardens located along the coast that were made from scratch by those who were dedicated to making their backyards into an oasis of beauty. Let's take a look.
My name is Frances Wright, and I'm co-chair. Betty Wells is my co-chair, and she's out doing something. So she and I, what we do, and we have a committee, and then also all club members help with finding gardens, and that's the hardest part, you know, trying to determine whether the front yard garden is the same as the backyard garden, because you can't see into the backyard, so we have to leave notes and letters and ask people if they'd like to be on the tour, and that's how we found our gardens. Okay, today is our 19th annual garden tour, so you have an opportunity to go around to each of the 6 gardens and one bonus garden, which is a school garden, to see the people's backyards. It's a self-guided tour. And you also have an opportunity to come back here or stay here for a few minutes and check out our plants for sale and our opportunity drawings.
Been here 19 years, and we started off with a pretty big lot that just had a lot of sand and dirt and a few weeds, and we wanted to try and have some greenery to give us a little bit of privacy and separation, and also to attract some birds and wildlife. And so over the last 19 years, we've just been adding plants and building the garden, and some things didn't work and other things did. There's a Mexican theme in the front of the yard, and even back here to some degree, because my wife's from Mexico. And so we have a Mexican-style fountain in the front, and we have a large cactus, a nopal, as they call it in Mexico. And then we have some pathways or paseos so they can just wander through. And it seems a little dry towards the front, but that's the way it is in the country. And we have a deck here that's sort of part of our outdoor living space, and it allows us to just look at everything and review what we've done and just relax.
I consider this my oasis because it's very relaxing. I think it's beautiful. And we enjoy it very much.
Yeah, my name is Bruce Dickinson.
And Diana.
This is our first year.
This is our first year.
You know, when we first got it, it was all blackberry brambles and poison oak, and it was just a mess. So over the years, one planter at a time, we just kind of developed it. Now it provides us with fresh vegetables all year long. A lot of work, but a lot of fun.
How long did it take you to...
15 years.
Good 15 years.
We've been here 15 years, so I started messing around maybe after the first couple of years. You know, I did a couple planters, and that worked well, so we added a couple more, Over the years, it's kind of come together. So now it's not quite as much work, but we enjoy what comes out of it. So.
Wow. You know, there's nothing quite like a garden showcase to just really remind people to stop and, you know, appreciate the beauty that's all around them. And those were some gorgeous gardens.
Absolutely. I feel as though if you had a green thumb, that was the clip for you. Alyssa, I have one final question for you to conclude our show. What was your favorite clip of the night?
Well, as you know, I do live in Oakland, so I, of course, have to choose the Oakland Art and Soul Festival because it takes place not too far from where I live. What about you?
Typical Ace fan, Alyssa.
What can I say?
Not surprising at all. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with you because the Oakland Art and Soul Festival was my favorite too. What spoke out to me the most was, again, that band that was on the piano and the saxophone and using the rhythms with the sidewalk and their drums to really make one beautiful piece was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. I'm glad we could make a convert of even the coldest of Oakland haters.
Yes, my Giants family out there is probably not proud of me right now, but I have to give it to Oakland. They're an amazing festival, showing us what being a part of a community and showcasing your best attributes is what all about. I'm Madison McKay, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Coast Life.